Silence! It's time! It's time! It's
time for another episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Welcome everybody to the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast, episode 55. I am your host, the Jack of Hearts, and with me as always is my respectable little knuckleheads here, Gingerboy. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was not prepared. I am prepared in 3, 2... There we go. I was premature on that one. Yeah, I'm doing better now. I just cracked open a beer. So, yeah, it's 55.
Oh,
We're 45 weeks away from 100.
oh man.
So, I'm pretty excited. The countdown has begun, people.
Man, I don't even want to think about episode 100 at this point, you know? We're just going to get through... I'm just not even... Hell, we don't even know what the hell we're going to be doing for that down the line, but that's something to think of in the future, I guess. But
we got 44 more weeks to think about it.
That's very true.
Get on it.
So the other person joining us is obviously our founder here, Knuckles. How you doing?
Hey, kind of feeling like crap. Have a sore throat. And hopefully, can get through this as quick as possible before it decides to hit me harder again.
Well, here's hoping.
Yeah, it hurts. I'm in pain. Let's finish this.
And that's our show for the week, people.
Yay!
All right, guys. So,
yeah, I'm good. I'm just ready to let this go.
all right. So, without further ado, let's get into what we've been playing. And Knuckles, we're going to start with you off this week because you do have some interesting games that you have started playing.
By interesting you mean Dead Rising 3?
Yeah, you know. I want to hear about it.
Well, when I heard this game was announced, I think it was last E3. I thought it was going to be like a more serious Dead Rising than the previous two, where in the first one you take pictures of zombies, you had to find a zombie erotica.
Oh.
It's Dawn of the Dead, the video game, basically.
Yeah.
No, because on the cover it says not affiliated with George A. Romero's
There's
Dawn
no
of the
romance
Dead.
inside that movie, was there?
No, but it takes place in a mall. It's basically, like... Not really. I mean, like this, it's a kind of a...
It takes place in a mall in a small town.
Yeah, like Dawn of the Dead.
But I don't know. It's like so much shit rips off Dawn of the Dead now.
Like every zombie thing ever.
Yeah, pretty much. But when I saw the gameplay and trailer for it, where the guy has a Lego head, I was like, nope, this game just looks serious, but plays fake. Plays like it's joking around. Which in a later DLC, like Super Mega Ultra Dead Rising 3 Turbo HD.
Something Alpha.
Poop on your chest, EX Edition, Alpha, Beta, Max.
Something like that. It was like, it's clearly making fun of itself.
Yeah.
Well, I started playing this, I think, last Friday. Haven't really gotten far into it. I know, but from what I played, it's just fucking entertaining. Carrying a bike engine, which is a la Dead Rising 2, and I'm just smashing people in the head with it, or smashing zombies in the head with it. And it's kind of... The zombies in the game kind of look like real fucking zombies, so unlike the other two where it's kind of like goofing around. So, they kind of like, I wouldn't say World War Z, but maybe Dawn of the Dead zombies, where it's like they're kind of actually frightening. And you have to, at the very beginning, you have to play you just have to jump on cars to avoid the hordes. And there'll be freaking hordes of zombies, and then there'll be a handgun on the ground in the middle of the horde.
I love it.
Just teasing you.
Just teasing you. Just get right in the middle of it and just start wayletting. Ha 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 ha.
So just to be sure, there's no zombies after you shoot them. They don't turn into like flying giant flies, and they don't like. Okay, no. So all right,
it's not Resident Evil 5.
Okay.
Or not even like Resident Evil 4 either, with the whole like various zombies that grow like parasitic heads and then just start like
the last good Resident Evil game.
Dun dun dun.
But I don't know. Resident Evil Revelation was good, but I'm getting
yes. I'm talking about like main story part. But yeah, go ahead.
But
I'm not mad.
They don't have. In the previous Dead Rising games, there was this the timer that you had to play through the game before the timer runs out. And I think the first one, it was I think it might have been a extract or some shit. And the second one, it was a bombing run. Now you can just play through the game without that annoying timer.
Oh, good.
And the save, you can actually save it, without having to go to the bathroom.
Do you don't have to go and save people constantly? Do you either?
You can, but you don't have to.
That was the worst part of Dead Rising.
Oh, really? So that means for say if the ending won't dictate or something whether or not how many people.
Let's just say as far as I've gone, I haven't saved anyone yet.
Typical Knuckles.
It's like no, here's my justification for this. I'm in an experience where I don't know what the fuck's going on and I have to defend myself. Why the fuck do you get to stand there crying and yelling, asking for help?
Well, that's a good point.
It's like you can be doing the same shit.
No, that's a good point. If you're in a zombie apocalypse type of thing, you don't know what the fuck's going on, then of course the first thing is okay, we gotta save our own skin here.
Alright, note to self, zombie apocalypse, do not go to Tennessee. Writing that down now.
No, I'm talking about the Dead Rising effect. It's like, why the fuck do I have to save you? You're on a fucking rooftop away from the zombies. You're fine. I'm on the ground right now and getting attacked by a fucking
Maybe she was distracting the zombies so you can get away.
You're like, yeah, come help me. Hey, you, dumbass.
Yeah, maybe these zombies are smart, like the ones from Resident Evil 4, and they know what they're saying.
Oh, no, they are not. They are not smart at all. If you can climb on top of a car and they can't get to you, yeah, you're fine.
Oh, man.
I'm 2 feet off the ground on top of this car. He's you can see the zombie's hands, on the car, trying to yank you down, but they don't touch you.
Gaming logic.
That sounds like the most ideal type of co-op game, though.
Yeah, I'm interested in playing co-op, but basically, I'm not going to go into the story because in Dead Rising, no one really cares about the story.
No, it's all about the gameplay.
Just zombie massacre heaven. Well, I'm not going to go into my second game because World of Warcraft, everyone knows, is the most popular game in existence next to Call of Duty.
All right, no problem. So, Gingerboy, go into what you've been playing, man.
That's beer number 2. Yeah, so I borrowed.
This is the intervention episode.
Every episode is an intervention episode. I keep going back. I'm cleaning for a week and then we record again. So, taking a drink of my beer there. Sorry, guys. So good. No, so I borrowed Wolfenstein from a buddy. I just came out. I think
Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember what this one's called. Wolfenstein something.
Yeah.
The New Order. Thank you.
A New Order and The New Order.
There's an order and something like that. Heidenreich's there. I don't remember. He read me poetry.
Is there a particular scene or something like that where he has Michael Cole against the wall and it's an awkward sense of breathing and all the other stuff?
Yep, it's beautiful. He's on top of the fist and everything.
Oh my god!
No, that's wrestling people. Sorry, couldn't resist. No, so this one is this is a different world of different takes place in a different universe from the first one. It's almost like a reboot to the series, and I hope there's more to this from what I played so far. I think I'm on chapter 5 or 6 right now, so there's 16 chapters, and I think each chapter is 30 to 40 minutes about, so it seems like a pretty long game. From what I've heard, it's a good about 10 to 12 hours depending on the difficulty level and how good you are. So it'll take me like 45 hours to beat this game or so. No, so what this game is about is you play as I can't say the guy's name. It's like they call him like Rango or Rongo. I don't remember. He's American. And he has a really weird last name. No, it's like R. I don't remember. Renowski or Renault. I don't know.
It's basically the original protagonist from Wolfenstein.
Yeah, he looks exactly the same and everything like that.
Oh, so he's an 8-bit character.
Well, no, like the face is exactly the same, but HD'd and in 1080p.
60 FPS.
I think it's just 30 because I know it's on all the consoles, so I don't know about that part of it. But so the game starts off. It's almost. And I was telling Jack before we started recording that starting this game off, it reminded me a lot of, Metal Gear Solid. Where if you play the Metal Gear Solid games, like the first hour or two of the game doesn't take place, like it's like kind of the setup to the story where you meet the main villain and it kind of tells you kind of figure out the world and what the goal is. And then so it starts off the game is that you're flying you're flying to a place like this big base in Germany, and they have like this mad scientist who has basically he's created all these like giant like robots, and he's turned like these dogs into like robot dogs, and like they have like their face is all made of metal and like their body's made of metal and everything like that. So he's like so it's 1946 and the war in real our reality is ended in 1945, and this one Germany, the Nazis are winning this because of the scientist, and you go to his base to try to.
At this point, we had not kidnapped the scientist.
And made him create an atomic bomb in this world, apparently. We didn't kidnap him. They just came over.
No, we kidnapped him.
We can argue about that later. So this game, so you're trying to get there to stop him, and basically if you can stop the scientist, you can win the war. Or, it gives you a better chance at winning this war. And you get there, and a lot of stuff happens. I'm not going to spoilers about it, but it ends badly for you and your team. And some stuff happens, and fast forward, it's 1960 now. The war is over, and the Nazis won, and they basically taken over the world. Even all their people they align themselves with. After they beat the U.S. Everything like that, they actually took over all of Europe. They went in. They took over the countries that actually helped them out in the war. And what happened was in like 1951, they actually dropped the atomic bomb on New York, and that caused the United States to surrender. So basically, what we did to Japan, they did to us, and we surrendered. And like 2 million people, or 200,000 or 2 million people died in this, and they're threatening to drop more. So
And that's how Turning Point ceased to exist.
Yeah, oh god, that game is horrible.
Dude, that game had a
great premise, but the gameplay was awful.
It tried to be Call of Duty, but
it was like the first of like 1,000 Call of Duty clones. I remember it came out like right around the time Call of Duty, like shortly after Call of Duty 4.
No, it came out in 2008, really? So maybe Call of Duty 3.5.
Oh, okay. Maybe, yeah, that's right. Well, no, Call of Duty 4 came out in 2007.
Hold up. I
remember playing Turning Point the day it came out, and it was horrible. I remember the first level, though. It was kind of a cool premise when the Nazis came to New York and stuff, but...
Yeah, we never... what was it? It was... God, what's his name? Winston Churchill never hit by that cab, so Pearl Harbor didn't happen, so the U.S. didn't go into World War II. Yeah.
See, I like these kind of things. I forgot a lot about the World War, but like when I was younger, I loved World War II because I had a great grandfather that was in the war, and I used to love reading all about it.
It came out February 26th,
So like
2008.
3 months after
Yeah.
4. So
Shows probably, and now it's right around the
Yeah.
same time.
So yeah, I really enjoy this, and I'm actually really enjoying just cause like when you walk through the world, you can actually like find newspaper clippings in 1960, and it kind of fills in the blanks of what's happened in the 14-year gap there, kind of telling you like China took over Japan, and then like the Germans actually gave them some of this technology that they made, and they like souped up the Great Wall of China. So like now it's impossible to even breach China.
Now it is the Great Wall.
Now it really is like the Great Wall. Like they even like they have like the super concrete that's like impenetrable and
not just concrete, super mega. Concrete.
And no, I mean it's a pretty cool game. So basically in 1960, you find out that United States lost the war and Nazis taken over. So your character you play as, you're trying to get into was the resistance and try to stop the Nazis. So I'm not very far into the game. Gameplay wise, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's nothing to write home about the first person shooter. It's kind of clunky. It's not as solid as like a Battlefield or a Call of Duty, but it's a lot of fun. And I mean, come on, it's been a long time since we've killed some Nazis. So it's kind of fun to kill some Nazis again, especially some super...
I don't know what you're talking about. I killed some Nazis last night.
What'd you play?
Oh, you're talking about video games. Never mind. I'm just going to take back what I said. Edit this out.
Call me. I'll help. No, so... yeah, so it's kind of fun because it's been so long since... it was funny there. For a long time, we complained about all these World War II games we had, like... Towards the end of the PS2 and Xbox generation and the beginning of the 360, up until like really 09, 010, like we had all these World War II games. It's really nice.
It's Call of Duty 4 that were in that for
us.
us.
Well, I mean, I think people were tired of it by like, especially when Call of Duty 3. I think people just realized they were done with it, and then
you had all those Medal of Honors. You had the old Call
we had like 5 every year. So and it's.
Brothers in
Arms. And it's kind of cool because you're not replaying like the same levels over and over again like you do. Like how many times we can do the attack on Normandy? I mean, every game, because the problem is there's a lot of big war battles in World War II, but
on one of the Medal of Honor games, you got to be at Pearl
yeah,
Harbor.
I guess that's something they didn't really explore, but that's kind of a weird issue where I don't know if I want to do that level. And that's just one of the things. There's only so many big battles that happened in World War II that you like. Big ones that everybody knows about, so just kind of got
Battle of Wake Island. You don't want to live that 15-minute. I mean, I was joking about 15 minutes, but that 3-day freaking fiasco.
No, I don't know. So it's just kind of cool. It's kind of a different twist on what could have happened. I mean, this obviously couldn't have happened. Like these giant, huge, 10-foot tall robots in 1946, but just. I always like to see like the what ifs kind of things of like what if Germany won the war or things like that. So it's a pretty cool game as far as that goes. There's some issues with the gameplay where like there's certain points in the game you'll have like an AI partner with you, and he doesn't actually kill anybody. Like he shoots a lot, but then like the computer doesn't even like register he's there. Basically, like. He'll shoot at him, and they won't even duck for cover, and he's not hitting anybody. And then, like, I had this one where, like, I was like an enemy I was fighting, like, he was like all souped up in like armor, and he had like a shotgun. And he was walking right in front of my AI partner. My AI partner's behind cover, hiding, and he's directly next to him, crouched right in front of him, and the
Next
computer's
generation,
shooting at me from across. I'm like 10, 15 feet away behind cover. So. Yeah, so I mean, it's a really cool game with a really cool, warp on the World War II, but I like the gameplay part of it isn't like it isn't something to like write home about. But I think this is a really fun game. I wouldn't say what I will say though is this is what could happen if you there's no multiplayer as far as I know of, and I wish more games would do that. Instead of just like half-assing like a multiplayer mode and like that no one's gonna play, just so you can say that way you can make a shorter storyline, like an 8-hour, like a 6 to 8 hour campaign, or just kind of make an okay campaign. But hey, we gave you multiplayer. Like I wish more games would just if you're not
Say fuck multiplayer.
If
go
you're,
story.
I mean, if you're not gonna go full blown onto the multiplayer, like or if you're not Call of Duty, or if you're not a Battlefield, or if you're not in the multiplayer only game, then just focus on a campaign instead of giving me a solid 8 to 12, 14-hour camp.
Give me a Mass Effect.
You don't even have to do that so much. I mean, if it's just gonna be like a first-person shooter game, like a Wolfenstein, or like like a army, like a war game, things like that. Just give me like a 10 to 14. You're not gonna go really depth with the RPG. It's just a straight up first-person shooter. Just make it a long game, like the Metro series. I love those games because they don't. There's no multiplayer. They focus 100% on the main story, and I love the campaigns in those games. And I'm happy. I mean, I don't want multiplayer. Like I have enough games I can get multiplayer out of. I think if more games did that, we'd be better off for everybody. When you look at I think like Crisis 3 had that, where the campaigns are like 4 hours long, and they gave you some really crappy multiplayer.
I agree with you right there.
I just wish more games would do that. More developers would do this.
What?
You know what game I want actually online multiplayer for? Trials Fusion.
I thought it was.
That's not out yet?
But
No.
Huh. I've already stopped caring about that game.
Okay, that is a fun game, dude. I don't know.
It's a fun game, but I mean, it's kind of like every other Trials game. Like I played it for fun for a few weeks after it came out, and then I forgot to have. I'll probably go back and play it every now and again. But for the most part, it's like if the multiplayer came out at this point, I don't care anymore. It's too little, too late.
It's like, you know what I want? I want GTA 5 Heist.
Yeah. Yeah, just like
no. I don't know. Trials Fusion is one of the few PlayStation 4 games I actually play. I have that, Watch Dogs, and I think that Final Fantasy game that I haven't paid for.
That game did not. Final Fantasy, not surprisingly, did not stick very long. Seems like everybody played it for that first month, and I had 5.
Yeah, it's because you got that first month free.
Everybody I had 5 or 6 friends on my friends list were playing that game constantly, and then 4 or 5 weeks later, I don't hear anybody talk about it anymore. That's why I like to jump into MMOs because of that. It's because
every
you see
MMO
the time,
since
the
World
next
of Warcraft
big MMO to take down World of Warcraft. Then 6 week.
There is no MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be the next big MMO though. I shouldn't.
If you can hold 9 million fucking people for over 10 years, you can't take down World of Warcraft.
Bad use of
World
words
of Warcraft
there.
cannot.
I mean, as far as it can be competitive at least, or at least be sustained long enough, and then it's I think it should just stop. No more of the monthly paying subscription fee. That just needs to go away forever.
Yep.
World of Warcraft can do it, and that's it. It's like multiplayer. Call of Duty, Battlefield, sports games, and maybe a couple here and there can do it, and then the rest can just go away. Multiplayer. I don't need it. I don't want crappy Tomb Raider multiplayer.
All right.
I want a longer, better campaign. There.
I'd rather. I want games other than Call of Duty. I want multiplayer games that are actually great. I wouldn't mind seeing a Transformers multiplayer game where it was actually done well. Because the Fall of Cybertron, that game had pretty fun multiplayer. It just doesn't stick. There are games out there that have great multiplayer, but again, they don't have Call of Duty in the title, and they don't have Battlefield in the title. They don't have Halo.
It's kind of the same thing with MMOs with subscription fees. It's they.
Or see, that's what Old Republic does well, because it's free to play, and you go on Old Republic, you can play up to any level you want, and you still quit. Quit after you get your main story mission.
Yeah, you can basically just do the campaign and go away.
Yeah, you don't have to do you can do the co-op with co-op in your missions. Then you can go maybe if you want to do a raid or dungeon or whatever the hell it's called.
I think just more people should. That's why I'm hoping Destiny kind of pans out, because this is basically an MMO without actually calling itself an MMO.
It's the Borderlands effect, basically. Yeah. It's shoot people, do missions, level up, but we're not really in the mode.
Yeah, have you seen they've already announced that they have 2 expansions coming out like early next year or something like that for Destiny. Yeah, there's like 2 big expansions. Like each one's like $20, or you can buy like they announced like a collector edition, like a legendary edition, like thing you can buy. It's like $100 one. Like it comes with with a bunch of stuff, and you get the expansion in it for that discounted price.
Okay, see if it's more like if it is for a $20, it better be a freaking World of Warcraft expansion.
Yeah, I think I think it was like $40 for both of them or something like that. You can already buy like this. I think you can buy a season pass when it comes out or something for like $30 or $35. So
it's like if they're gonna have $20 expansions, they're gonna need to be World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I think I saw. I could have misread this, but it looks like they're exclusive to PlayStation until like till late 2015.
They have a year time to exclusivity.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. That's like kind of like what Grand Theft Auto 4 had with their like they actually had their DLC for that game for like I think almost 18 months or something before they finally came out.
Then Fallout 3, it took about 2 years for the PS3 version to get like its expansion.
Like decently, yeah, that's true too.
They didn't work for like the first like 3 months.
I know. It's kind of crazy that
that's on every system though.
Yeah, true. But we're basically talking about the topic that Knuckles put in here about. We might as well we could jump back. I'm sorry, Jack, into your game you've been playing. But I figured this is a good segue into.
It's a good segue into the Bungie stuff. So let's go ahead and just go over that little topics and stuff. We'll go back to what I've been playing after we get done with some topics.
Yeah, but Knuckles, go ahead and rant about this. I know I saw this on Facebook. This was upsetting you.
Oh, it wasn't upsetting me. It was just making me laugh. I was laughing all the Bungie, like all the Xbox Bungie fans, the ones that just play Halo. But I was posted this on Facebook, and the freaking fans, like the fans of the Halo, and they're basically Xbots, feel betrayed that Bungie's leaning more with PlayStation with all their perks and like the beta. Like I hear people talking about how it's really not cool that Destiny's going to get a week longer beta on the PS4, and since they already had the alpha on the PS4 only, and now Bungie's and Activision have announced that like the DLC is going to have a year exclusivity for the PS4 over the Xbox One, and there's going to be like some like cosmetic stuff for the PS4 only. Well, I was reading some of the comments like. It's like we've been fans. Alright. Here's what it is. We have the Xbox users, long-time Bungie fans. Which, if you're an Xbox user, you're not really a long-time Bungie fan.
Well, 12 years, 13 years. It's pretty long.
But if you're part of the PC version, it's been since mid-90s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like we're being excluded from recognition from everything we've given you. This is your repayment to us. First off, Bungie doesn't really have to owe you anything.
They gave you like 5 or 6 great games.
No shit.
You didn't give them anything.
Then they gave you one okay game. You gave them $60. But and then like PlayStation users are acting aggressive towards us and rubbing in the faces, blah blah blah. Basically, Xbox acting like they're been talking shit to by PlayStation fans, when in reality, I've seen some people post PlayStation hasn't had a Bungie game ever and just let them have a game.
Not at all.
No, actually, no. Only back in 2000 was a PlayStation game.
Oh, I forgot about that game. It was a launch game too.
I don't think it was a launch game, but
it was pretty close to the launch date, though. And also,
Oni was a fun game.
But also to keep this in mind and stuff like that, Bungie, yeah, like you said before, has been around like for like the since the mid '90s and stuff like.
Actually, late '80s because the Marathon came out in '94.
Right. So, but the point I'm making pretty much is that they've been like making all sorts of various games since back then and stuff, like the Marathon series on PC, and a little bit of like a little knowledge right here. If you know, the original Halo was supposed to be released on PC before
It was released on Mac.
Like it was released on Mac. Yes,
it was supposed to be. It showed off at E3, and at the end they had the Mac logo.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Microsoft bought Bungie.
Yep.
Before that, so, but Halo could be released on the Xbox when it came out.
And even back
which
then,
was
there was
also
dispute.
it was which. Go ahead.
Even like back then and stuff, there was dispute for like fans from like the Mac and like the PC or something like that because Bungie got bought outright by Microsoft. You know, even despite like them having all that stuff, and fans were hurt even back then. You know, so this really isn't too much different.
It was basically back then. It was basically saying, no, you're not getting this great game on the Mac. We're supporting our PC, which Halo Combat Evolved later went on. After a year after it was on the Xbox, went to the PC. It was like that was a FU to Apple.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I think it's so stupid to look at like they're treating like these companies like they're people or something like that. Like they
they're in America, man. Corporations are people
but
now.
I mean, as far as this goes, like there's not like this is one singular mind. Like Bungie is a person. Like it's just like you and me. It's just one person's vision. It's not.
I'll say when I'm talking about Bungie, I'm talking about the people. I'm not talking about the company.
Yeah, but
itself.
I mean, they act like the company itself is actually a person, and that Bungie made the decision to go to PlayStation, switch sides. No, it's a company. Companies they have one goal: make money, and they didn't. They didn't want to make games. They didn't want to make Halo games anymore. They want to do something else, and I don't blame them. They basically did Halo games for like 14 years. They were done with it.
No
so shit. I don't blame anybody. I wouldn't want to do the same thing for 14 years either. But so they went on. They bought themselves out and they started making their own game. And Activision came to them and here's a buttload of money. They went to where they were going to get more money.
You keep the rights to
and
games.
you get to make the games you want to make because you're Bungie and you made Halo.
You Bungie, you're one of the greatest game developers of all time.
Definitely as far as as far as our time, like now for our generation, it's probably one of the biggest, probably top 5 easily.
It would be up there with Bungie, Naughty Dog, freaking a shit ton, a couple.
Yeah,
others.
I mean, but it's definitely it's definitely maybe not the.
It's probably the top 20 game developers. It's top 10 game.
Yeah, over the last like 15 years, it's easily though the top 10, top 5 maybe, as far as success goes. So I don't know. I think it's just so stupid. Like they went to where they're going to be happy. I imagine the people that are happier there because they're doing what they want. They're making what they want to make. They're making a lot more money there, and
Yep.
I don't know. I think Destiny's going to be a success. It's not like, and this is even worse because Mac.
You're still Xbox users.
Yeah, exactly. Mac users didn't get the game, and PlayStation owners didn't get the game. Nintendo owners didn't get the game. Freaking Xbox is still getting the game. Oh my god! For once, Xbox owners have to wait. And I feel funny because I was a 360 guy up until 6 months ago. I mean, and I was always part of the benefit. Oh, we got the Call of Duty map pack first, and like
we got Call of Duty, we got Fallout, we got
the
GTA.
games ran better. We got Skyrim, we got all the big DLC. We got it first, and it's just kind of funny to.
Except for Battlefield 3, which we got a week later.
But it's just so funny to me that you're still getting it.
I even had posted on the forums like, "Hey, Xbox, why don't you let PlayStation fans get a timed exclusivity deal that they didn't have?"
And if you love Bungie so much, then fucking buy a PS4 or buy a PS3. If you're that big,
or just stop bitching because you're going to get the fucking game. You're going to get the DLC.
Yeah, but it's
exactly
such an easy solution. Get a PlayStation console. If you don't want to wait, get a PlayStation console. It's that easy. It's not my fault.
It's like I don't want to spend $400 on a new console. It's like, well,
because it's not like this is new news. Like we've known PlayStation was going to be the core console for Destiny since the beginning, since they announced this thing.
since they announced it at the E3 at the PlayStation.
Yeah,
E3.
so we've known about this.
Yeah, that was their first game that they actually unveiled and stuff for their press conference this year.
Yeah,
Sony's.
last February, what was it? Last February 2013. So for almost a year and a half, we've known about this. And why are we complaining now?
Because I think it's because the beta's coming out, and like they announced that the PlayStation's going to get a week
They're still getting the
longer.
beta. I mean,
Yeah, and it's like we want to play the game as long as the PlayStation
buy a
users
PlayStation.
do.
rant over. Gamers ruin games.
At the end of the day, it just comes down to this: companies, they care about nothing but one thing, and that's the money that they get from
And well,
you.
they want.
And so what Sony
They
did,
want a good reputation.
what Sony
too,
has done.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that, but basically, Sony was the one that went up front, paid all this money for exclusive content for that span of the year, and that's a good move by them because they've done a great job in cementing the perception that Destiny is a PlayStation brand.
Yeah.
So that exactly is one of the reasons why I can see why people are getting upset with it, but at the same time, it's still coming out to Xbox One. Some of this content, it'll still come to this console, be it a little bit later. So I don't really see... If people are so hurt about this, not being able to play an alpha or a beta, then they should just go out and just either wait until it comes out for their Xbox One or buy a PS4. It's just either pick or choose.
Yeah, and it's basically they're getting mad about, Sony just went out and bought this. Microsoft did this for like 8 years.
Exactly.
With Call of Duty, with Battlefield, with freaking Fallout, Grand Theft Auto 4.
They're still doing it with Call of Duty. I mean, for God's sakes, that was the one thing they touted for their freaking Microsoft press conference. It's like, we got exclusive content to Call of Duty. Oh, again? Oh,
Yeah, no
who
one
gives a
cares
shit?
anymore. Like, I think Call of Duty is still popular. It's still going to sell very well. I've said this for a long time.
Yes.
Call of Duty in
It'll
Call of
still
Duty
sell.
in about 4 years will be like Madden, where it's going to come out and
It's already like
well, it's still kind of a big deal now because especially because they have a lot of big budget behind it with Kevin Spacey, obviously. But in 4 years, it's gonna be like the core gamers, the gamers that care about Call of Duty, and the gamers that care about Madden, are gonna be really excited about it. And that's about it. There's not gonna be a big hubbub about it. We're not gonna have big events about it. That's gonna be it. I'm getting another beer. I'm angry. Yeah.
Okay, so
You're
let's-
angry. This is the first fucking topic.
I know.
I know, this is only the first topic and he's already angry and stuff like that. Well, I guess we can transition to something that's a little bit less anger-inducing and stuff like that. Well, let's just see. Okay. Choosing my
Beer number
topic. 3. Well, early on this week, we actually had confirmation for secret bases inside Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So basically what this pertains to is back in when Ruby and Sapphire first released, it had an element, a little play element or something like that, where you could buy a specific type of items, like desks, Pokemon dolls, traps, whatever, and you could decorate like a specific spot or something inside the Pokemon landscape.
I think
for
they
home.
had that they had that in silver and gold where you mystery traded and stuff, and you bought stuff for your bedroom.
Sort of like that, only this thing was more elaborated onto because you could use a particular move, which was called secret, some sort of special move where you could actually
Secret power.
I think it was secret power. I think it was where there was only specific areas inside all of the Hoenn region where you could dig out specific spots and make trees, make like a tree house or like a various little cave or whatsoever, and that would be your secret base. And what you could do, you could have little things just like to dress it up and blah blah blah. But you could also have people like link cables and stuff like that with your friends. They could find your secret base where register on their game card. So, say if you had multitude of friends or something like that with the game link cable and stuff, you could find their specific type of bases if you went and looked hard enough. If say you went and did trades. This is sort of like the same concept that they're introducing now with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, only it's a bit bigger than that. You can actually go to your friends list and stuff
Basically
like that.
It basically turns your base into a Pokemon gym.
Kind of, yeah, exactly the point. Because you can structure your own base like a Pokemon gym or like a various other little nook and cranny stuff. You could basically become a gym leader, kind of, essentially. Because you could set traps, you could set little things. It's unclear, like, how focused you could actually make it. But at the same time, you can connect online. You can go and find your friend's secret base. You can challenge them with the various Pokemon set that they have. And, yeah, that's actually pretty goddamn awesome, in my opinion.
So Tom Nook is going to be there, right?
Wrong game. But, well, you could probably structure yourself after Tom Nook, probably.
Can I be a raccoon in this game? Because that's... If I could be a raccoon, if I could be... I want to be the raccoon from the Galaxy game. I want to be that one.
Oh my god. You want to be fucking
Yes.
Raccoon.
Can I be him? In the...
So, Gingerboy, you could probably, like, just capture a Zigzagoon or something like that and just have that be as your little raccoon type of Pokemon.
I want to catch the guy that does the voice of it. That Vin Diesel is the voice of. I can only say one name. He's basically a Pokemon. What's Vin Diesel's character in that movie? He's basically...
Guardians of the
he's
Galaxy?
basically a Pokemon. He only says his name.
No, that's Dave Bautista, and that's Groot.
Is it?
I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Dave Bautista's in it, but
who actually voiced it.
Vin... I'm googling this. Diesel.
You gotta Google this, because I'm not too sure if it's Vin Diesel or Dave Bautista.
It's the
tree is...
It's
the tree is Vin Diesel. So he
okay.
only says...
Good.
Yeah, he only says his name.
Then I wonder where the hell Bautista.
Batista's like the giant red guy, I think.
Nathan Fillion
What?
is in this movie.
I'm gonna
Holy
go see this
shit.
day one now.
Really?
Yeah, he's Groot.
Nathan Fillion's in. Oh god, day
Vin
one.
Diesel is Groot, and he always says Groot.
Batista is Jax the Destroyer.
Yeah.
So anyway, there is some more Pokemon news that happened recently. Actually, today. There was a scan posted on Cerebi.net, which is taken from the latest edition of Koro Koro magazine, which is a Japanese equivalent of a, official Pokemon fan-like magazine. And inside it, they showed a couple of photos of like the various little gym leaders that have been restructured with their new artistic work and stuff. Plus Steven with his trademark Pokemon Metagross. Only this Metagross is the new Mega, pretty much. So we have a new Mega confirmed via the scanning pages of like Koro Koro magazine. Yeah, Mega Metagross. Not too sure about the typing or the nature or what type of other things are going to be happening with it, but that's kind of exciting. Metagross is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 3, so now if only they have something like more stuff,
I want Mega Explode.
I want freaking Mega Zangoose.
I want Mega Slowbro.
That's Kanto. What the hell I sound sick. Anyway, but I really do like that.
Mega Slowking. There you go.
Mega
I stopped at
Slowking.
the Gen 2. That's kind of where I fell off. Until Pokemon X.
That's where a lot of people fell off, though. But
I played, I think Ruby and Sapphire's first Pokemon game that I didn't get to the fucking Elite Four.
Oh, really?
I stopped.
Yeah, and I just received Fancy Pattern Vivian whatever the hell it is.
Oh yeah, that whole that's another new thing that came out this week. There's like a fancy pavilion distribution for Pokemon X and Y. So if you want to if any of you have Pokemon X and Y still, which I know a bunch of us still do, you can actually go to the mystery gift option, just connect to the Nintendo's Wi-Fi thing, with the internet, you'll receive that for Pokemon for free. It's just like a specific type of pattern, just like a distinct pattern that you can only get through distribution.
I wonder, can you breed that?
You probably could, but I think it would only do like a different type of pattern than what it has.
Yeah,
I got something to talk about, actually. I wanted to mention this.
What?
So, because we're talking about Nintendo game.
Yeah.
If you have a Wii U and you have you bought the deluxe version, you can every time you buy something or you get a game off the store, you get for every 10 cents you spend, you get I think you get you get 1 point for every 10 cents you spend, and so basically once you get to 500 points, you get $5 code for $5 for your Wii U or for your the Nintendo store. So I knew about this and I went and looked today actually because I've got a lot of games. The cool thing is you don't actually have to buy the games. So since I got 3 of the 4 free games from the Mario Kart thing, Pikmin 3, Zelda HD, and new Super Mario Brothers. That was like $15 right there alone. So I actually looked. I had $20 in for my e-store, and I bought Shovel Knight today. So
Holy
I got
shit.
Shovel Knight free, and I still got like.
How did you check that out? How did you find
just
out?
go ahead and Google Nintendo. Let me double check it. Nintendo Deluxe Digital Promotion, and you go on there. And it, basically, for every, it doesn't even actually even to buy the games. Cause I haven't paid for any of the games I have on there. Like Super Metroid, I got with the download code. The 3 games I just talked about, I got the download code. And I did buy 2 games, but I bought it with I had a gift card. So, so you don't have to actually spend the real money. It's just the value of the games you got is you'll get those points. Right. So yeah, I actually and then I got because I got Shovel Knight, I got another $5. So I got $10 now. So I'm probably gonna buy Earthbound. So I thought it was kind of a cool thing if you guys I know a lot of people out there have been Wii U's have been selling like crazy. So if you're listening, you just got a Wii U, go check that out. Yeah, so just Google Nintendo Deluxe Digital Promotion, and you just got to put in your user ID for the Wii U and then your password, and it'll show you how many points you've gotten. So pretty cool thing there.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool thing, though. I'm just trying to actually just look at it right now and see if I actually qualify for something. But I can do that some other time.
I'll send you the link. So.
Yeah, just send me the link a little bit and stuff like that. Well, let's go into our next topic right here. Apparently, Borderlands, the prequel, could make its way to the Xbox One and PS4.
Yes. So
I'm kind of aggravated about this one.
Do you want to take
Really?
Do you want to take the reins on this one?
I can, but I don't know. Do you want to do it?
I can kind of tell the backstory on this, I guess. So what's going on with this is they're not making the game for the Xbox One and PS4 yet. But if they're saying if the game, the pre-sequel sells well and the gamers want it, that they'll consider making for PS4 and Xbox One, which to me...
Oh, that's very shady.
Yes.
It's kind of like a cop-out.
And I understand their point to not making this for the new consoles is they don't want to... They want to just stick with what they know. They don't know the new technology yet. But to me, my counter, and I know there's some like something behind it. You know, it's not, you can't just jump into it. It's not easy copy and paste for making games from PS3 to Xbox 360 to Xbox One and PS4. But you don't know the new tech of the new consoles. This seems like a perfect time to like jump into it. Like a nice little test run
before they throw their new IP out.
Yeah, and we'll discuss the new IP here, I'm sure after this. But you don't know the new technology yet, so just make the game for 360, PS3, and then port it over to X. But also, kind of like what all the other games, like Wolfenstein's doing, like it's on all the consoles. Do that. That gives you a nice little test run into like that helps you understand the new tech for PS4, and Xbox One. And all the people that have abandoned basically the 360 and the PS3, a lot of people probably, I bet a good chunk of people sold their old consoles when they bought the new ones, or they don't want to buy games for the old consoles. I remember when I bought South Park, I felt kind of like I didn't want to buy the game almost because I didn't want to buy a game for my 360 because I had a PS4.
Well, yeah.
So
no
I just think it's kind of a half-ass answer. And if you like the game, well then we'll maybe make it for Xbox One, PS4.
And the way that kind of aggravates me because I want if I'm going to play the game, I want to play it for the console that I want to play it on.
Yes,
the newer
exactly.
consoles.
Yeah.
Don't tease me with fucking. We might make it for the new consoles. Like I'm not going to buy the game.
Yeah, that's my
twice.
point. Is why would you? So you're basically telling the people that like your game to, you need to buy it, and then if you like it, then maybe we'll make it for the new consoles. So then you want to buy it again? That's basically a big middle finger to your fan base right there. And
that's a good point right there. I mean, for a fact, let's take me for example. As soon as the next generation came on, I just latched on and I got both consoles, and I got rid of the remaining stuff that was tying me down from the previous generation, from my old. What in the world?
That's the demon.
Apparently,
There was a demon.
yeah.
in the
There's
mic.
Oh
I
my
live like a mile away from the airport, and there's a lot of heavy traffic apparently today. That's about the 8th or 9th plane to fly over today. You'll hear in the recording. People, sorry. I'll try to block it out.
I guess
it's not really working too well.
I guess that freaking little demon or something like that is.
Wait, you're recording in a
Borderlands.
basement.
Yeah,
too.
well, I got the window open, man. There's no air conditioning in this house. It's hot. I'm sweating right now.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, like I was saying and stuff like that, just the point taken or something like that is, like, I was invested heavily in the last generation, but once that ended, I just wanted to get out as fast as possible. So I don't really give a crap about
I
buying
don't believe this
things for the last one.
the previous generation's over. That's why I kept
For me,
my
it is.
consoles.
Yes, that's a good point, Knuckles. I mean, for a lot of people, including yourself and stuff like that, no, it's not done whatsoever. But with me, I felt it was just the kind that I just should just move on.
If I can
just do something else.
if I can port all my games over to the next generation consoles, I will. I would sell my previous consoles.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, I'm currently playing my not currently, but I play Halo 4 on my 360 a lot. I almost said PS3.
Oh, a bunch of people are so mad at you right now.
Right? Yeah, Bungie gave a secret port to all this real fans, so they gave a secret port of Halo to the PS3. It's called Destiny. Just
But
piss
yeah,
people off.
well, anyway, speaking of Gearbox, though, Gearbox did actually unveil like a new game. I think it was this week called Battleborn. Exactly, what in the hell is this all about?
Well, Battleborn is the new Gearbox game. It's supposed to. They haven't announced what platform. Oh yeah, they have. It's going to be for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's supposed to come out in 2015. It's unlike Borderlands 2. It's going to be more of a hero type of game where you play through a couple heroes and like you're playing as bandits in Borderlands. They're not going to have that. From what I can tell, they're not going to have the looting, like the huge loot fest of what Borderlands was. They yeah, I'm trying to remember. Well, I'm trying to figure out what else was about this, since I was the only one that actually followed this.
Well, actually, I read the article too, though, but it's just I don't remember a lot about it, considering... Isn't this supposed to be like some sort of... no, that was the Cliff Bleszinski game. My bad. But, yeah.
It's going to be, wow, really? It's going to combine, it's going to have that first-person shooting. It's going to be the first-person shooter and co-op, which is similar to Borderlands. And it looks like it's going to be shell-shaded, that has the same shell-shaded feel, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a new version of Borderlands, just without the loot.
So,
massive loot.
I read an article earlier, and before we started recording, about how was it Randy Pitchford? I think is the owner, or is the president of Gearbox. Said that making Borderlands 3 scares them, and like there's a lot of hype behind it. But basically, this is Borderlands 3, but they just didn't put Borderlands on because they didn't want the expectations of it being Borderlands.
They didn't want Borderlands expectations.
Yeah, so but they're making Borderlands.
Okay, they didn't want Borderlands 3 expectations, but coming from a company that put out Alien and stuff like that, Colonial Marine. Oh,
yeah, this game needs. I think for Gearbox's sake, this game needs to be a home run. So maybe I think they're just playing it safe with this. They're going with what they know.
The game looks beautiful, like for the trailer or what I'm watching.
Yeah,
the game itself looks beautiful, and it looks like it has that comedy feel.
Yeah,
to
so
it.
I think this is actually this might be a smart move on their behalf. It's a nice, safe pick for them. They're not trying anything not doing anything crazy new or out of what they know. So because they've had some stinkers the last 5 years with Duke Nukem and with Alien.
I'll say they did what they could.
Yeah, but
with
it's still
Nukem.
under their umbrella. They released that with their name is on that game, so it still hurts them the fact that they released that game knowing it was horrible.
That game was shit going into the development.
Yeah, but they knew it was bad, and they basically they sunk a lot of money into that, so they released it as is so they can get their money back. So I think that was like that hurt the company, and then with the whole Alien thing, and then finding out the stuff about Alien afterwards, that they basically took the money that was given to them to make Aliens, they made Borderlands 1 with it, and then gave the Alien game off to some other company that they own to make, and it turned to crap. And they basically did the same thing where they tried to fix it up as best they could, then shipped it out, kind of like Duke Nukem. They've just kind of got a bad stigma right now, and I think the pre-sequel and Battleborn are very safe, but I mean, I'm not going to complain because I like Borderlands, so if we can get Borderlands quality games, I'll be happy.
Okay. Well, anyway, speaking of Aliens and stuff, the Aliens Isolation pre-order bonus actually has me kind of excited, because inside this type of pre-order bonus, there's like, it's basically what it is, it's like a extra kind of like missions or something like that, based around, well, I know. This is based around like the whole, like the cast and stuff, the 1979 movie, like Aliens and stuff, so you have like actors, actresses and stuff like that, like Sigourney Weaver and stuff like that, reprising their roles like originally from the movie and stuff like that. It actually, I was looking at it before the show started, and it looks pretty awesome in my honest opinion. That's a cool incentive for like a pre-order bonus.
It's kind of I think it's a smart move. This is another game like Alien Isolation. Just kind of reading some stuff about the game. People were playing it at E3, and it just people were not saying too many positive things about it. And I think this is kind of a smart move on their behalf, where this is probably the biggest seller right now, and to throw it in with the pre-order bonus is a good way to get sales right off the bat, instead of this game coming out and then maybe releasing them for $5 day one or a few weeks later. I think this is a good way to get sales right away before if this game does in fact turn out to be mediocre or bad, they at least got the money up front with this.
It can, well, you know what, in like, well, I can do it this way. I can say it this way. Hopefully it's going to be like... Can you say it
at all?
I know. I'm just really tongue-tied at the moment. At least I hope that it's not as bad as Aliens Colonial Marines. Because, you know what, that game was just terrible.
I think they actually had to try to make that game that bad.
Man, I know. But anyway, Knuckles, how do you feel about this?
I'm not really a fan of it. I'm going in with low expectations for Aliens. It's going to be a rental. But after the shit ton of terrible Alien games, I'm just jaded. I remember when we first heard about this game probably about a year or so ago. I was actually really looking forward to this. I think Knuckles and I were talking about it maybe 6 months ago, beginning of the year, late last year, and we were actually both somewhat excited for this game. And I think he's actually in the same boat I am right now, where we're hoping it's good, but we're not expecting it to be good.
Well, here's hoping that it's actually good.
Yeah, if it comes out and it's mediocre, I'll be happy, because my plan is, because there's so many good games coming out and I can't afford all of them, I'm just going to get a GameFly account or something in December and just play all these games I missed. So this is that. Hope if it's good, if it gets good reviews, I hear good things, I'll probably play it sometime down the line.
Well, anyway, going on to another topic right here. Apparently, Cliffy B, he actually got out of retirement for video games, and he's announced a new game by the name of Project Blue Streak. Basically, what this is going to be is like a free-to-play first-person shooter.
We can't say it. Can't say that term anymore.
Interesting.
Free to download.
Free to play.
Yep. Knuckles came up with the idea.
Okay. But that's kind of interesting and stuff. I know Cliffy B had experience with producing games when he was working at Gear,
Epic.
With Epic Games and stuff like that, with the Unreal Tournament games and all the other stuff.
I want a good Unreal Tournament game. I don't want Unreal Championship 3. I want a real Unreal Tournament game.
Really just a good arena shooter. We haven't had a really good one in a long time. Epic kind of started that whole thing with the Unreal games, and I mean, we haven't really had a really great one since.
Oh, Doom.
Epic
you can
is
argue Doom and Quake.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, Epic is going forth with creating a new Unreal game though, but it's entirely also free to play and stuff like that. But they're just coming up with some of the concepts at this moment in time. But yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in see how Clippy V actually goes with this game. Because free to play, hell, it's by the same. He's partnered with the same free to play model company, and so that was responsible for MapleStory. So
I don't know, to me, it's I'm kind of over the free to play stuff already. I don't take your game as seriously if it's free to play. If your game is not good enough for me to invest money in beforehand, I don't take your game nearly as seriously, and I lose a lot of interest. And I think that's kind of the stigma to a lot of gamers now. You might have a pretty good, it might actually be a pretty good game. I'm if this game came out for $20-$30, I might actually really enjoy it. But the free to play logic, that has so much ill will behind it. You're gonna nickel and dime us on stupid stuff like this. We talked about this before, they make the game super hard at certain points, or you have to wait this long to play the game. I don't know. To me, it's just it's something I think a lot of gamers that even are fans of Gears of War and Cliffy B are probably not going to jump into just because of that free to play name on it.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, let's go on to our next topic right here. Apparently No Man's Sky, the multiplayer probably won't be up at launch, which I wonder which multiplayer. Is it just general multiplayer or something like that, or is it just more a local type of multiplayer?
From what they're saying is it's going to have the way a normal multiplayer mode on it that you would see from an MMO or just any other co-op and multiplayer and all that stuff to it, but it won't be. Right. It more than likely won't be at launch. It'll probably be later on down the line. And actually, Knuckles even kind of touched on a little bit earlier with Trials Fusion, where that game came out. What was it? Do you remember when that game came out, Knuckles? Was it March or April?
I think it was either late March or
and
April.
I mean,
I want to say April, not.
Yeah, it sounds about. I think April sounds about right. I'm kind of curious. So if they do this, and I think a lot of us that are going to plan on getting No Man's Sky, like me, one of the big things of it is we want to do this with other people. And if this I thought Grand Theft Auto 5 had a pretty good job with it, where it was 2 weeks later, so it gave people just enough time to jump into the single player. And yeah, there were some issues at the beginning with Grand Theft Auto 5 with trying to get online, but that only lasted a week or so. That worked out pretty well, I think. For that's a great kind of thing to do. For I think a lot more games should do is give more people a chance to play, especially longer games. Give them a chance to play the single player and then put the multiplayer out. But if this is Trials Fusion, it's 3 months down the line. I completely forgot I had the game, and I think there's probably a decent amount of people out there that probably forgot they have the game right now too, or just don't care about the multiplayer anymore. Right. That I don't know. If it comes out too late, this could be. It might hurt. I think it might hurt the game in the long run.
Well, you know what? I do agree, though, that it might hurt the game in the long run, stuff like that. But at the same time, I do understand why that they're delaying the multiplayer function. It's just like what you were saying with Grand Theft Auto 5 and stuff. Just give people some time just to experiment with the single player perspective and see how things go on from there. And then afterwards, it's do a bit of co-op or do a little bit of online multiplayer stuff. You might discover something even different when you play again.
See, we're actually in the minority. We're the people that actually like to go into the single player first. Right. People like GTA 5 and people who play GTA, Call of Duty, and that sort of stuff. They're actually the majority where they don't even care about the single player.
That's true. But
I know.
They just go straight to the multiplayer and...
Yeah, No Man's Sky is kind of an interesting game, though, where it's completely different from all those games, though, where it's not going to have that hardcore audience that wants to play with their friends. It's a weird case, right? I mean, I don't want the game... I'm fine with them releasing it later, the multiplayer later. I think it's a smart move, because it's better to release it day one or a week later and it's broken right off the bat and it just doesn't work at all and they're just constantly having issues. But it's just not fun. But at the same time, I just think you don't want to wait too long. And you're right. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there, Knuckles. I think you're right. We're the minority where we look more towards, and like I ran it on earlier, I want a good single-player mode. And I think if they focus on the single-player mode and give us a good, solid single-player mode, and we don't really know what this game's going to be so much or how long this game is going to last. But no, I think you're right, though, where a lot of people, I think, are wanting a good... They want to jump right into the multiplayer. And if those people want that, they'll probably, if it gets only a few weeks later, they'll probably just wait for the multiplayer to come out, and then they'll buy the game.
Yep. Well, anyway, let's just touch on a little bit, like, before, like, we actually go ahead and end the show today and stuff. There is a Super Smash Bros. Like, 3DS tournament that's going to be happening, like...
July...
towards the
July
end of July?
25th in San Diego.
Yeah, July 25th.
How is there going to be a 3DS tournament when the game's not out yet?
Well, it's kind of like what they did with the Wii U one, where it's just like, it's kind of a demo mode.
I kind of like that, though. I really do like that Nintendo's just going out just with the 3DS version just to get into people's hands. You know?
Yeah, because, I mean...
In a place like...
We haven't seen a lot on 3DS. We've seen a lot of Wii U.
Alright. DN field trip, or... TN field trip to San Diego to participate in this tournament.
I think I think it's San Diego Comic-Con. I'm totally down for that.
Yes, it is. It's San Diego Comic-Con.
That would be
there.
The thing is, actually, you're supposed to go to a couple. The way to get into the tournament is you have to go to like a couple stores. And I think it started a couple days ago. Actually, you go in there and you play. You can actually play like a demo version of it, and it keeps track of like you or something like that, I guess. And depending on how well you do in some of these, you actually that's how you get into the tournament. So it's not like Wii U one where you actually like signed, like you sent a video in and talked about. It's not like I think the Wii U one you actually like send in a video and talk about how good at the game you are, and like some of them like were actual like Smash Brother Melee champions and things like that. This one like you actually go to like a couple stores in San Diego and play the game itself and beat other people to it.
Let's take a day trip to San Diego right now.
All right. I can call my supervisor. Let her know I'll be late tomorrow. It's 2 hours behind. I mean, by the time we get there, I'll probably be there before work starts tomorrow.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, that's about wraps up the topics and stuff for.
Wait, what have you been playing?
Oh, yeah.
What have I been playing? Well, I don't really think I should really get into what I've been playing and stuff like that since we are kind of a little bit over right at the moment. But I could say that for next week since I barely even played the games that I was going to talk about. So I'll have more info on them next week. But like I was saying, though, we got done wrapping up the topics, so I'll just go into my Wrestler of the Week, which is a no-brainer by me, as the wrestler is Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns, he's quite an interesting dude in general. I mean, he gives that persona, kind of like that badass type of persona and stuff. He was the main muscle behind the Shield. And, I kind of like how the WWE creative is going with him and stuff like that. He's more like a brute force, like no-nonsense type of dude and stuff like that. He's almost kind of like the opposite of like a Dean Ambrose and stuff, where Dean Ambrose is more psychotic. He's more like... this and that, though. But with Roman Reigns, he's known for a couple of moves. He's known for, like, his Superman punch, his spear, obviously, because, hell, what's a better move to give a big man than a fucking spear?
Yeah, the only move every big man can actually do. And he also has that awesome drop kick he does onto the apron.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That drop kick, man, is so freaking awesome.
I think the best way to describe the Shield is I thought they're like Batman villains. Like, I think... They said the Joker was Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins was Scarecrow, and Bane is Roman Reigns.
No, I wouldn't put Roman Reigns as Bane. I would probably put him somewhere along the lines of, say, like a Killer Croc. But maybe that's just me.
All right, which one is the Penguin?
Paul Heyman.
Which one
Paul
is
Heyman?
You came up with that pretty quickly.
Yeah, you did, actually. But, Roman Reigns has actually had some pretty fun, like, interesting little moments and stuff, like, with certain promos and stuff like that, like calling Renee Young, like, baby girl, and blah, 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 and stuff like that. Plus, did you catch that, like, last Monday or something like that, where you actually did a fist bump with a fan before you came in?
I can't...
That bro
I can't
fist.
wait. I got front row tickets to when they come to town. I want to give them a hug.
No, don't do
Oh,
that.
Reigns, I want to give you hugs. I want to give you lovins.
Dude, I do not want to see you, like, on live television, just get tackled by security because they think you're attacking Roman Reigns.
I'm not that stupid. I'm not going to attack Roman Reigns. That guy's like...
No, just hold out a bro fist or something like that. Just let him try
Fist
to do
bump,
that.
bro? You cool, bro? I can't wait. But
Because I kid you not, fans are going to be keeping on doing that now because he did that.
But no, I want to say, actually, on September 1st on WWE Raw, I am sitting front row opposite the camera. So you're going to see this beautiful mug on TV for over 3 hours straight.
Dude, what you should do, you should put a sign and you should put on our freaking website, you know? If we've renamed it by then,
I might actually do that. I don't know if you can have. I don't know if you can have signs in the front row. I think it's actually like a rule against that because you're. I'll have to look at. I'll have to find that out. I think it says on my ticket somewhere.
What you could do though is not like just hold it up so the people in the back can't see, but like just have it like sort of like a little thing. Hey, here's our website. You know, it's like
I can do that.
Here's our podcast.
Yeah, just do the podcast thing like that.
I think you guys have told me this the last 2 times I've gone to the shows, and
you've
never
done
it. Sounds really good in theory.
But dude, this time there's no excuse. You got to do that since you're in the fucking front row.
Yeah, I'll have to get some. I'll go out and get a few weeks for the show. I'll go out and get like some poster board, and I'll blow up our logo and I'll put Drunk Dash Nerds Podcast on iTunes.
But one last thing I want to say about Roman Reigns, you know, I've been listening to some other like wrestling, like certain wrestling like talks and certain like podcasts and stuff like that, where, you know, Roman Reigns kind of gives out the persona, say, like of a Kevin Nash in a way, because he's big, he's menacing, he like has like a particular way that he's kind of like a no nonsense type of dude, though. Oh yeah, sure, Kevin Nash had a tendency just to have like a running of the diarrhea of the mouth, though. But the thing is, he has that type of thing.
This is it. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Nash at WrestleMania.
Oh god,
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
It's gonna be a who blows their quad first match.
Oh, that's a good reference. Because for those who don't know, who haven't paid attention to wrestling in like over 10 or 15 years, once the whole invasion angle stopped or something like that for WCW and like WWF and stuff like that, one of the first tag matches or something like that with Kevin Nash in it, he goes and he actually blows his quad out when he tries to run.
He took like 3 steps and went to go tag somebody and collapsed. And, yeah. It's not the first time he blew a quad in a match, so...
Yeah, but that's probably one of the most lamest way to go out.
Yeah.
But anyway, Knuckles, what's our random Twitter follower of the week?
I'm gonna go with someone we all know. Maybe not the listeners, but at Esmeralda Portillo.
Nice. Yay, Esme!
At Esmeralda IP. Here's her tweet. The chocolate Twinkie is a thing again. The chocolate Twinkie is a thing again. It hasn't been a thing since the 1990s, apparently.
God damn it!
And that's
good.
The chocolate Twinkie at Esmeralda IP.
Yeah, Esmeralda. She has been like we've known Esmeralda and stuff like that for like years, from like their work on Sarcastic Gamer, plus some other work that she has been, like, other jobs that she has done, you know, like for, Machinima, plus, I'm not too sure what she does
inside
now.
Gaming.
But she's been keeping, like, really big tabs and stuff like that inside the gaming industry. But, yeah, you know, I'm just very excited, you know, for Esme and stuff, what she does. Well, she's one of the only ones that actually helped donate, like, when I was doing that whole Extra Life thing, which, by the way, I'm not too sure when that's going to be.
October 25th.
Damn.
October 25th. Well, I think this is a good time just to say that I believe all of us will participate in Extra Life again this year, if you know, maybe do something, since we actually have a next generation thing of consoles that we can actually play on. So who knows? Maybe Tyler and I will do
playing Destiny.
Yeah, we'll be playing Destiny, maybe Madden, maybe like Tyler and I will play some Madden.
Don't tease me now.
I'm not gonna tease you like the baseball fucking thing, you know? That was funny though. But anyway, on Twitter we are drunk_nerds. Almost said dash. On Facebook, we have a Facebook group page, which is just drunk-nerds, where we just basically we talk about random things. We post little things about wrestling since that's what we love most.
Yep.
But that's come second to gaming, really. But anyway, that has been it for episode 55 of the Drunk Dash Nerds. I have been your host, the Stumbling Jack of Hearts.
I have been Ginger Hulk. Ginger Smash.
And I've been Bungie Fan 001.
You don't like Gingie when he's angry.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Oh, the only thing I have are jeans now. That's weird. It's purple. There you go.
Oh god, Ginger no pants. Everybody run!
Ginger no pants.
I like to play by my own rules, yeah. But I think I'd stay on top of you. But I got one more thing I got to do, yeah. That horse is rolling to a fucking hole, yeah. I live my life so out of all control, yeah. You ask me why, but I do not know, yeah. Wasting away my life and my soul, yeah. I guess I'm just a little too cool. I think I dropped out of high school. I like to play by my own rules. But test me and I'll show you. This game we play is not a fucking joke, yeah. I'll break your neck and then I start to choke, yeah. You are nothing but a little kid, yeah. This life is so easy that I live, yeah. Oh baby, baby, I'm just way cool. But listen up and then you'll understand, yeah. This was all a piece of my plan, yeah. This life is mine and I want it too. I cut the line and I will cut you too, yeah. Oh baby, baby, I'm just so cool. So fuck you. I think I do what I wants to do. I'm just too